Guys, it's Nosferatu Gaming DH here for another video, and today I will be explaining mines. I'll be explaining what to do, how much ore they give, and what creatures to get, and I'll just be giving a short tutorial on mines. So this was requested by my mentor. He said make a video on mines because people will be having trouble with mines and finding out what they do. So these are the mines. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of ore you could get, and each ore for the energy one gives 15 on, and I'll explain the ones on 2 times mine event later. So the one for the energy does 15, the one for the first gem mine does 60, and the one for the second gem mine does 120 ore. So what is recommended if you want to get lots of ore quickly, I would say save up your gems until you get 350 gems, and then do the third one at 2 times mine event. Now the 2 times mine event comes, I think, once every week, or at least something like once a week, and it gives it allows you to get double the ore basically. So it's called 2 times mine because you get 2 times the ore. So at 2 times ore from the energy mine you get 30. Sorry about that. From the energy mine you get 30. From this one you get 120, and from this one you get 240. So you get much more ore. And what do you do with the ore? You buy, well, creature shards. You don't buy the creatures, don't get mistaken, you buy creature shards. And the shards are what you basically need to make a creature. And if you have enough shards, it tells you how many you have on the left and how many you need on the right. And when you have enough, the exchange button will turn from grey to green, and you could exchange. If you have duplicate heroes, but yeah, I won't explain that because it's a mine one. So yeah, for mines, I'm gonna tell you the creatures and heroes I advise you to get, and which ones are good for what kind of decks, something like that. So okay, I'm gonna try to keep this under 10 minutes. So with the first creature, Jormunga, and he's the worst out of all of them in my opinion. Don't get him at all. His dispel looks good, I know, but he does not have frost armor, life sap, or anything that's remotely good. He does not have immunity. Instead he has reflect, which is crap, unless you are using some crazy spiky bits or something. But no, do not get him. I advise you to get Mithildrone first. That's what I'm going to say. Get Mithildrone first. He's the best character out of all of them, in my opinion, for the creatures. Yeah, get Mithildrone first. The reason you get Mithildrone is because he has Spellbinder, which which bans all enemy magic, which means Flame Brave can't cast Incinerate or Pyre. You can't get Tempest casted on you. So people can't get cast Tempest or anything like that. The only ones that are not affected by the Spellbinder are Seal, Frostblade, Venomblade, ones like that. But stuff like Incinerate, Pyre, Tempest, and all the magic skills, they cannot be activated while Mithildrone is in play. So the moment you put it in play, you could only get hit by physical attacks, or by something like, you can't get hit by Discord or anything like that, control effects. Only control effect you could get hit by is, not control effect, only effect you could get hit by are Seal and Frostblade, and Frostblade, and Venom Edge. So another reason you get him is because he has immunity 8. I know that doesn't bode well with Spellbinder, but it does. The reason it does because he has high attack. 902 is his base attack. So you want him to stay alive. So he won't be able. I don't think he'll be able to use Mithril when he is sealed. So it's good that he has immunity 8, so he can't get sealed. And another great reason why he can't get why he has immunity 8 is because of disposal. He cannot get disposed because of the immunity 8. Mithril is probably the best self-healing apart from life sap. I think those two are like joint. 20% of max HP every round. It literally says what it does. I don't really need to explain that. So I think secondly you should get either Sea Wizard or Oinari. The reason I'm not saying Dust Contrast even though she's a really good character is because her cost is very high. And if you're like low level, you want to get someone with lower cost. So I would say Oinari or Sea Wizard. The reason I would say Oinari is because she has Revive and Rebirth. That is a great combination, even though the Revive is only start Revive, not like Great Mystic who has permanent Revive on and on and on. It's like Recycle Revive, but her one is start Revive, so the moment she enters the battlefield, she will revive a creature. The reason it's good with Rebirth is because she could just keep dying, rebirthing, reviving, dying, rebirthing, reviving. But the thing is, it takes longer than Great Mystics and it takes longer than Recycle because you have to wait for her to die again before she could revive again. So meh. But she's good for a Neander deck because of the Feral Fever. Sea Wizard, the reason I advise you to get her is because she has Sweeping Blow and Frostblade. Sweeping Blow and Frostblade is a massive deadly combination. Definitely one of the best combinations. Basically what it does is the Sweeping Blow lets you hit the enemy opposite you, the one to the left and the right of that creature you're hitting, which means 3 creatures you are hitting. So the reason it bodes so well with Frostblade is because Frostblade has a 70% chance to make make all the enemy creatures that you hit with your basic attack, with your physical attack basically, freeze. So it has a 70% chance to freeze them. So that with Sweeping Blow is good because you could freeze 3 enemies at the same time. And if you freeze 3 enemies cannot take the next turn. The reason she's good as well is because she has Tempest, and Tempest allows her to freeze the rest of the enemies that are there. So she's really good, but her Tempest is negated by immunity. Her Frostblade cannot be negated by Frost Armor or immunity. Her attacks can, but her Frostblade cannot be negated. I'd advise you to get Dust Contrast too, but that's after Sea Wizard or Oinari. The reason you get Dust Contrast is because she has Delay 4 that allows you to delay 4 creatures at a time, which means 4 creatures cannot take their turns, which is really good and bodes very well with dodge because she could just keep evading a physical attack, so she keeps lasting longer in your deck. In the battlefield, sorry, and she will keep delaying creatures so your creatures can kill them. So I'd advise you to get Mithril Drone first, then either Sea Wizard or Oinari. I'd rather get Sea Wizard, that's what I'm going to get next, and that's it. Now the heroes. The heroes I say do not get 4. He's a laughing stock, he is crappier than Odin, he's rubbish, never get him, never ever get him, okay? I don't have to explain more. You could just look at his Holy Hand skill and then just laugh at it, okay? He's not worth it. Oceanus. Create a duplicate of the enemy creature. He was good before the update, but there was this new update that made him nerfed completely. He's still good if you get him to, I think, level 5. But yeah, I think you should definitely get him if you got a good deck and the creature with the highest cost on your team is absolutely is awesome. Blade Master. He's good with War Hungry and Berserk because the War Hungry and Berserk are basically the 2 skills that you could get, and they basically put Battle Blow on your creatures, and there's a chance, there's a 75% chance for Berserk and 100% chance for War Hungry, and it increases by about 100 to 200 to something like that. He's good with that because he kills the enemy creatures that have less than 20% max HP, and they will probably have that by the time you use the War Hungry and Berserk. Armageddon. you should definitely get him if the creature with the highest cost is really good, something like maybe a Zodiac character or something like that. Unbelievably good. I would say yes, and because he has Deathless, chance to return all creatures to your hand when sent to the graveyard. He's really good. I recommend you do get him. If the creature with the highest cost on your team is very good, but not the highest cost, in your team, no, in the enemy team, sorry, I made a mistake. If the highest cost in the enemy team creature is really good, you have to you should get him. Sorry, I'm kind of rushing this because it's gone over the 10-minute mark. I have to advise you, if you want to get Armageddon, you have to be kind of tactical, because he could only resurrect the enemy creature when they are in the graveyard. Make sure you read the stats perfectly. Alright, Alchemist is the one I am going to get. Alchemist is very good. If you see a bunch of Frost Armor, a bunch of immunity absolutely everywhere, Alchemist is the character you want. She does 300 direct damage to all enemy creatures, that's right. Inflicts Melt Armor. This is the thing that absolutely destroys the Frost Armor, Magi Armor, Block, Immunity, Reflect and Stone Skin. This does not work with Dodge, but it works to all the other ones that it says. They take direct damage equal to 300 and 150 direct damage to all other enemy creatures and hero if they are destroyed. And if you are versing a whole immunity and Frost Armor deck, they're all going to get destroyed because they're all going to cast Frost Armor and immunity. And if you have a Flame Brave, this is my strategy for the core. Because the whole place has Frost Armors and where are they? There's Frost Armors everywhere, immunities everywhere. Frost Armor, immunity, Frost Armor, immunity. Everyone here has Frost Armor, immunity. What you could do is get the Alchemist, get her Rage up, use War Hungry and Berserk, and you don't have to use War Hungry Berserk, just get her Rage up to full, let her cast the Melt Armor, then put a Flame Brave there with Frost Armor, or a Flame Brave with Frost Armor, and a Flame Brave with immunity, or just a Flame Brave or something like that, something that will do damage to all enemy creatures, a Flame Brave, a Yeti, anything like that, and they will all cast their immunity and they will all get destroyed. And I recommend you also take Sweeping Blow characters as well with her, because that would be awesome. So yeah, that's my mine video. There are 2 more characters I need to talk about. Spirit Arbiter is the best character in my opinion from the whole thing. I'm not getting her because I need the Alchemist. At level 5, she will deal 50% of max H. No, she'll deal percentage of max HP damage to enemy creatures. That plus direct damage to 1 enemy creature, and 45% chance to remove 2 creatures at level 5, and at level 10 3 creatures in play. So that's very good. You could just insta kill 3 creatures with her Rage, and if you have Queen Temptress with Retreat, then it's bad for the enemy. While Songstress, disable 2 creatures. The reason I say get Spirit Arbiter over her is because she can disable 3 creatures, and yeah, it doesn't take that long but to destroy them. But I'd say if you want, you could take Songstress. He's really good. So yeah, hope you like my video. It was a bit long. I didn't know how to make it under the 10-minute mark because there's a lot of creatures I have to explain. But hope you liked the video. Hope you found it helpful. This is Nosferatu Gaming DH, and I'm out.